Hi everybody, good morning. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. So, there are many amongst us who fear the words maths. And like basically whenever they want to practice maths or something, whenever they are pressurized to do it, they feel like they are having fever. মানে বাংলায় যেটাকে বলে যে মানে গায়ে জ্বর আসছে, যেই ম্যাথসের কথা শুনলেই মনে হয় গায়ে গায়ে জ্বর আসছে, পেট ব্যথা করছে, ঘুম পাচ্ছে, ইচ্ছে করছে না, শরীর খারাপ লাগছে, গা গোলাচ্ছে। এই সিমটমস গুলো আমরা নর্মালি দেখি যাদের ম্যাথস ফোবিয়া থাকে, মানে যাদের কাছে আর কি ম্যাথস এন্ড মি আর বেসিক্যালি এনিমিজ। There are many amongst us, right? Like who feel that you and maths are basically enemies. Like this is my perception. I also feel that नहीं होगा, हमसे नहीं हो पाएगा, वो सब हमसे नहीं होता है. So like what are the basic causes which contribute to having maths phobia? First of all, it is that the old methods are being used to teach maths. Like a teacher does the maths on the board and the students copy it and he or she gives that homework. It's that there is no change in the method. It's like the generation wise the same thing is taught in the same manner, which does not bring any interest into the minds of the people and students, and it's just poor instruction. The teacher does not explain things properly. It's just done on the board, someone else does it, and then it's done in the same manner. You cannot do anything about it. Next is obviously the student does not have any interest or aptitude in that subject. Moreover, there are many students who feel like I don't feel relate to that subject. Like there are many who do not like history, geography, economics. There are some who do not like maths or science subjects. Like it's a normal phenomenon. It's like it's okay if you don't like those subjects, but it is since part of our education system, we have to score a very good number or whatever to get admission in our esteemed substream or college or whatever. But there are many people who don't like that subject, so we can't help it. So there are other causes as well which add to this maths phobia. Many parents have an unrealistic expectation from their children so that they become engineer or doctor or any other professional thing which the parents wants the child to fulfill. So they have unrealistic expectations that maths is the main subject. You have to score a 90% above or 100% in that subject. So there are many who don't fall into that pressure and have a phobia to that subject. Next is like there are many teachers which we have seen in our childhood that they feel that girls or the females cannot do well in science subjects. They are good in subjects like history, geography, economics, pol science, philosophy, psychology. These are their subjects. They cannot do well in this science background subjects. This is a myth which is there in the minds of the teachers that a girl cannot perform well in this science subjects because it needs intellect and girls don't have that intellect to perform well. So this also adds to that phobia. Next is obviously we all have undergone this. We all have maths teachers in schools who were a very strict authoritarian kind of a personality. Nobody had that urge to go and talk to that person that ma'am or sir, I have this problem. They were very strict. They were not very friendly. They had that kind of approach. So students obviously feel very scared to approach that person, that this person is very strict. I cannot approach that person. This person will obviously will not help me in my problems, or if I go and discuss my personal issues or maybe something, this person won't help me. So this is one major problem which we have faced. I know students now also face this kind of problem, that they are very scared to approach their maths teacher. This also adds to the phobia. Next is pressure of these examinations, because we live in an education system where marks are very important. So, achieving a good percentage in this subject obviously adds the pressure, and obviously there is an unrealistic expectations from the parents as well. Lastly, maths is a subject which is viewed as something which is right or wrong. There is nothing, you can do it. You have to solve a problem the way the teacher wants to. You cannot solve a problem the way you want to. You have to do it according to the book or what the teacher has says. There is no way where you can show your creativity in that particular situation. So this also adds to the phobia. So now what can you do to, reduce this kind of phobia? What can the teachers and the parents do? First of all, you have to, inculcate positive attitude in the children that it's okay. This is just a subject. You can also do it. You have that skills, you have that intelligence, you have crossed this level, or you have promoted from this class to this class, so you can also do this. Instead of giving them negative points, show them the positive side and help them to, develop the love for that subject. Next is facing it. We have a tendency to go away from our fear. It's high time that we face the fear and solve the problems. It's not something very out of the world. You can do it. You just have to have faith on yourself that you can solve the problem yourself. Next is finding out the root cause of why is the fear there in the children. Because many of the times parents feel that the child is not interested or does not want to study. But you have to find out the root cause. Why is the child behaving in that particular manner? You have to find out the cause and talk to the child and discuss his or her problems. Next is encourage practice. Obviously, you have to encourage practice among the children because maths is a subject which requires huge amount of practice. If you don't practice properly, it's not that before the exams, one day before night you are practicing and you do everything. It's not possible. You have to, give 1 hour daily to that subject. So the parents should obviously encourage their children to, practice that particular subject. Make math simple and fun. Obviously, when we were children, we did not have the provision of these apps and Byju's and everything. So, if a child does not have an interest in that subject, it's the parents and the teachers' responsibility to, make that subject simpler and in a more activity-based manner. Following just the root method of doing it, solving it on the board does not help. You have to make it in such a way that the student feels, interested to solve that subject or follow that subject, because that is the thing. The main problem is there was nobody in our age to, develop interest towards that subject. And once we cross that base age where the base had to be developed, then it's not possible for us to develop an interest into that subject. It's very important that we perceive the subject as a creative subject. Like maths is obviously has to do something with creativity. There are places where creativity can be shown. So you use that creativity thing. If a child is creative, use that creativity to, develop love for that subject. Maths is something. Next is obviously maths is something which needs to be applied to daily life. Right? So please use that subject in daily life as well. We have been taught from childhood that এটা তো সব জায়গায় লাগবে, কিন্তু যখন লাগার সেই জায়গা তো আমাকে সেই অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা হচ্ছে না. Where am I using trigonometry, algebra, geometry is okay, still there are places where geometry can be used, but where am I using trigonometry and algebra? So what is the point of teaching those subjects when they are not being used? Where am I using algebra? Please, I need, where am I using it? I am not using it like a square plus b square, a plus b whole square. Where am I using that formula? It's not applicable. So, you teach maths in such a way where it is used in daily life. Next is obviously encourage peer learning, because as parents or teachers, there are times when you cannot come down to the level of your child. But a student who is of his age can teach that concept from their point of view. So you should encourage peer learning, which is very important. Like when we were children, when we were in class 7 or 8, I guess, we had a maths teacher who had encouraged, that process, that a student who is lacking behind, a student who has performed minimally well, that person can help that person. That way the concepts the concept is very clear. You can understand. The more you teach people, the more your concept will be clear. you don't understand. No, suppose you have understood something, until and unless you help other person to understand that concept, you don't know that you have understood it or not. So that's a good way of understanding concepts. Next is like you always have to give a good reason. Why should I study maths? Maths is an important subject. It's a part of our curriculum. You obviously give some valid reasons why should I study it. Then at the end of the day, the child asks, what is the point? Like I asked, what is the point of using trigonometry and algebra when I am not using it? Sin theta plus cos theta and all that things are there. But where am I using it? So give valid reasons to the child, like why should you teach these things? Because everything is now available online. So try using those resources instead of encouraging the child to play games out, like not outside, video games, giving them those options. Try to use games or something, mathematical games or Sudoku type of things, which will encourage the child to use and will develop his concepts. Like obviously there are a lot of apps which the child can use to understand his concepts in a better manner. Lastly, set an example. That it's not that you set some hi-fi example that this person has achieved this much. Don't give those examples. Give an example that a person who who was struggling in that subject, but with practice and with time this person has performed in a better manner. If you give such examples, then a child who is struggling can also cope up and do well. Otherwise, if you give an example, like you will start comparing with a child who is next door, who is getting 90% or more in that subject, it's no point. The person will feel that there's just comparison. I cannot do anything in life. Instead, you tell that person that I or somebody else who has done this much, who was struggling in maths, but now that person has performed well and has achieved this level in life. So if you do this, then the child will obviously be automatically motivated to perform well in that subject. I hope I can clear your doubts regarding maths phobia. So let's let's end this video. Thank you, and let me know how this video was and what are your comments. Let me know. Thank you.